Alright guys, what is up? It is Master Hab with another Star Wars theory video, and this is one on who is more powerful or who is stronger, the clones or the stormtroopers. So right now we're going to start with the types of clone troopers: the 212th Attack Battalion, the Ranker Battalion, which is also known as the 501st, the 442nd Sage Battalion, the 612th Attack Battalion, and the Grays Battalion. And right there's the 501st. I had to confirm that one. Clone troopers are born and bred on Kamino, using the DNA of Jango Fett, and are designed to be the perfect soldiers. Listen, man, I can't even English tonight. Clone troopers go through flash training on Kamino in a clone military education complex. Clones from a very young age are hardwired to be loyal and respectful people to their generals and commanding officers. This is the first thing that is taught and is consistently tested throughout their life. Once they are ready to start training, every clone is put into squads of around 5. Young cadets are instructed by clone sergeants, while bounty hunters are hired to supervise the older clones. ARC troopers were also assigned to inspect the troopers, especially the cadets who had the potential to join the ARC ranks. So this is like fast training is what this is. So these were for the clones, I guess, obviously could pick up on stuff really quick, faster than what normal. At a young age, one squad at a time was given a tour of the Venator class Star Destroyer endurance. The point of this was to test the cadets' knowledge of the controls and layout of the ship, so that when they went out to active duty, they knew how everything worked, so that they could operate it effectively. This would obviously help those who will be the ship pilot or engineer, so that the ship feels familiar. So they would train them on flying a ship, engineering it, probably repairing it, anything like that, coding it probably, anything. So far of what I'm reading, the clones got really extreme training. The clone cadets constantly ran through simulator battlefields against droids with stun weapons and given different objectives so that they could learn with what a battlefield is like firsthand. During this phase, clones learned different types of tactics and techniques to use in a fight. Creativity was highly respected. The largest simulation rooms could replicate a variety of terrains and environments. Clones also spent a lot of time, sorry about that, learning hand-to-hand combat, and sometimes had to demonstrate their skill in front of the rest of the clones. So no matter what happened, they had to show the other. It was pretty much like if one knew one thing, they was going to teach the other regardless. Kind of similar to the not leaving a man behind. So, and then the cadets who succeeded in their trials were promoted to active duty. Certain clones who were exceptionally better in comparison to others were given specialized training in order to become elite soldiers, such as Advanced Recon Commander, Advanced Recon Force, Biker Advanced Recon Commandos, Clone Commandos, Flame Troopers, Galactic Marines, Clone Ordnance Specialists, Clone Paratroopers, Clone Trooper Pilots, Clone Scout Troopers, Clone Scuba Troopers, Clone Shock Troopers. Those are all the elite soldiers. And I'm guessing they had where they had such like training with bounty hunters. That's probably why they were, from my point of view of how I've seen clone troopers, especially in the prequels comparing to the original trilogy. If you really take it from the value of what it is, seeing the clone troopers and the stormtroopers, the difference in them from the movies. The clone troopers have better accuracy. I hate to say it, but the clone troopers have better accuracy. But when they became stormtroopers, that was a complete different story. So it made me look up, are they still clones? Yes, Imperial troopers are all clones, but are not from the same clone template, also known as Jango Fett. Some are recruits that have been cloned from random troopers, although there are still some original clones left in the army, such as Commander Cody and many others. So, Commander Cody and I know Rex wasn't, but I know there's some of the original ones that's cloned from Jango Fett. From what it reads here, that was part of the stormtroopers. And as you can see, there's the 212th Battalion on Utapau, I think, and here you see I think Commander Cody right there, and then a couple of the 501st maybe. And here we move on to some of the stormtroopers. Now, yes, I know I did say that clone troopers were more effective and higher maintenance and fucking more accurate. Which I know this picture don't show no fucking difference on what I just said about the clone troopers, and no difference with the stormtrooper because dead rebels. But nonetheless, stormtroopers do miss a lot more than clone troopers, because the clone troopers were able to kill off the Jedi, like some of the Jedi. These guys were just dumb. Sorry about that. Been a long day. Now here are some rules. Now I noticed some of the rules that on clone troopers is kind of like, from what my research is, the rules in clone troopers are kind of like fucking U.S. Marines. Like, it's weird. Like, no man left behind. Um, it's just U.S. Marine rules. And you definitely don't give up your damn name. That's one that was not with the stormtroopers. Or not with the stormtroopers, but the clone troopers. English, Cody, English. You give up your name. That was one of the rules of the Empire. Part of the training and indoctrination process in any military dehumanization, breakdown of the individual, and then rebuilding them to be a loyal killing machine. The Galactic Empire, however, they pretty much take your name and give you a goddamn serial number. And that's kind of like Finn here. He had FN2187. Retreat is not an option, so no matter what the odds are, you are not allowed to turn back. Not allowed to. And the clone troopers, if I'm correct, you were allowed to turn back on certain notices. Leave your comrades behind. This is sort of what I was talking about with the clones, how they don't leave their man behind. Well, we never leave a man behind, as it says there. We never leave a man behind. But as the galaxy grew and times changed, the Republic turned into the Empire, and the Empire had a new protocol. We leave men behind. So it's kind of like if one gets shot in the leg in the main artery, he's just like, fuck you. So, that's pretty much how that goes with that. You must be human mostly. So you couldn't have any kind of other breed in you, just human. I don't know if that went the same with clones, but, there that is. No force users allowed. I'm not sure about the clones, but this is really like stupid, honestly. But this is one of the rules, and I just don't understand it because General Kenobi was a force user. So I guess the clones were allowed force users, and General Kenobi had on clone trooper armor. I don't know. That don't make sense to me. Cadets are all thoroughly screened for any hint of subversive behavior. So if you had any, I guess if you had any kind of thoughts or any kind of behavior of the light side, you would not be able to be a stormtrooper. I guess that's what I'm understanding of it. So if you had any kind of light side thoughts, you were kicked out of the academy. You couldn't adjust your in-suit temperature control unless authorized. So you either man up and deal with the cold or freeze to death and possibly just fucking. Well, other words, get off the damn battlefield. Um, if you can't handle the cold or hot or whatever the fuck you're doing. Um, Women are separated and train harder than men. I don't remember even a woman being in the clone troopers. Um, which I could be wrong. But women are supposedly trained a lot harder than men, put through a lot more techniques and a lot more strategies, and definitely a lot more training. Um, as you can see, it says right there. But you know, you must train in everything. That means from driving ATs to being a gunner on a Death Star. It turns out that all Stormtrooper recruits were actually trained in everything from tactics to heavy weaponry to piloting walkers, ships, and even technician work. So they pretty much knew everything in the book. They just wasn't accurate. How do you know everything in the book and not accurate with your guns? Eh? Everything you say is recorded and evaluated. They have a microphone inside their helmet. Yes, that is true. And everything is being recorded and sent to the Emperor ship. So therefore, that's pretty much how the Emperor would know what's going on at all times. You must wear all parts of your armor at all times. Oh, sorry there. So if you took your armor off at any moment notice, you were just fucked. You answered directly to the Emperor. That's kind of like saying you shall not pass without some kind of regulation on doing so. So no matter what other, I'm guessing, so no matter what other stormtrooper said what, they did not have to answer to them until they answered to the Emperor? Question mark? Here's a third. Well, here's three. Third one from the last rule, which is it's a family thing. Use it guilt people into becoming loyal to empire. So I guess. Oh, so some of the. Wow. Okay. The idea was the kids who had grown up in an imperial family was first-hand experience dealing with the life of a troop. So if anybody was an imperial officer or worked in the imperial ranks or anything like that, and they had a kid, they would be taken and used as a stormtrooper. That's great. You must believe you are armored. that armor don't do shit. I don't know what else to say about that except for it don't do shit. You are not allowed to improvise. See, clone troopers were allowed to improvise. But stormtroopers are not allowed to improvise, so I don't understand that one. So in my personal opinion about this, overall, I want to say clone troopers are stronger than stormtroopers. And I say that because of the heavy training that they got to go through with hand-to-hand combat and gun training, tactics, strategies. I think they're more stronger. But I guess that's it for this video. Just leave a comment below on what I should do. And like and share this comment. Or like and share if you like this content.